High on the roof of the world, nestled within the mighty Himalayas, lies a land of mystery, spirituality, and ancient resilience. Tibet. For centuries, it has captured the imagination of travelers, monks, and empires. But behind the prayer flags and snow-covered peaks lies a history rich with culture, power, conflict, and identity. This is the story of Tibet, a land where myth and reality often walk hand in hand. The history of Tibet begins over 2,000 years ago. In the 7th century, under the rule of Songtsen Gampo, Tibet emerged as a powerful and unified kingdom. He is credited with establishing Tibet's first empire and introducing Buddhism through marriage alliances with Nepal and China. He also created the Tibetan script, laying the foundation for literature and religious texts. By the 8th century, Tibetan influence stretched far into Central Asia. Under King Trisong Detsen, Buddhism was declared the official religion, and great monasteries like Samye were built, some of the oldest in the world. Tibet became a center of Buddhist learning and meditation. Monks traveled between India and Tibet, bringing sacred texts, practices, and philosophies. Tibetan Buddhism flourished and evolved into unique schools like Nyingma, Kagyu, Sakya, and Gelug. By the 15th century, the Gelug school gained dominance, led by the revered scholar Tsongkhapa. From this lineage, the title of the Dalai Lama would emerge, both a spiritual leader and eventually a political one. In the 17th century, the 5th Dalai Lama established the Ganden Phodrang government with the help of Mongol patrons. For the first time, Tibet became a theocratic state, ruled by monks, not kings. Lhasa was declared the capital, and the magnificent Potala Palace was constructed. Despite its spiritual governance, Tibet was not isolated. It maintained diplomatic ties with neighboring powers like the Qing dynasty in China and the British Empire in India. However, these ties would later become points of contention. By the early 20th century, global powers began to shift. In 1913, following the fall of the Qing dynasty, Tibet declared its independence, maintaining its own flag, army, currency, and government. It functioned as a de facto independent state for decades, though its legal status remained disputed. Everything changed after 1949, when the People's Republic of China was established under Mao Zedong. In 1950, the Chinese military entered Tibet. The Tibetan government was forced to sign the 17-point agreement, which promised autonomy, but resulted in growing Chinese control.
1959, after years of tension, the people of Tibet rose in a mass uprising against Chinese rule. The rebellion was violently suppressed, and the 14th Dalai Lama, only 23 years old, fled into exile in India, where he continues to live today in Dharamsala. Thousands of Tibetans followed him, and the Tibetan government in exile was established. Tibet's cultural, religious, and political freedoms began to shrink under Chinese administration. Today, Tibet is designated as an autonomous region of China, but many Tibetans and human rights groups argue that autonomy is only in name. Religious practices are monitored, monasteries controlled, and expressions of Tibetan identity are often suppressed. Despite these challenges, the Tibetan spirit endures. Tibetan Buddhism continues to inspire millions around the world. The Dalai Lama advocates for a peaceful middle way approach, seeking genuine autonomy rather than independence. Tibet's story is not just a tale of the past, it's an ongoing journey of identity, resilience, and survival. From the birth of empires to exile and beyond, Tibet remains a symbol of spiritual strength and cultural richness. As the snow-capped mountains stand tall and silent, so too do the hopes of the Tibetan people, waiting, praying, enduring. If you found this story insightful, consider subscribing and sharing. Until next time, stay curious.